Do I regret buying my Switch 2? I'm going to tell you why I'm not excited about it and the parts that I'm excited about, because I bought it bundled up with the Mario Kart World, because otherwise with that price tag, of course I wasn't going to pay for it, because we know that the discounts for Nintendo aren't really discounts unless the games are like 2 years old or something. And besides having FOMO, let's say a bit, just a teeny bit, I just wanted really to point out the elephant in the room, and that it's like I'm not regretting having a Switch 2, and I consider it a huge upgrade from my Switch 1. Make some hot chocolate, some tea, get cozy, and let me tell you why I'm feeling like this about the Switch 2 that I'm having. I think I'm really needing some new Joy-Cons already, or at least some new colors or some patterns or something, because I'm having the special edition Splatoon 3 Switch and the first generation, the OLED one, and now I'm really wanting some customized Joy-Cons, but like not the third-party ones or something from Nintendo, or at least something that is licensed with a third party or something like that. And also, speaking of Joy-Cons, the mouse feature is just amazing. I cannot tell you how many times have I been watching the trailer, have I been watching presentation, have I been watching creators on YouTube like Wolfden or Beat 'em Ups. I just loved so much their showcasing, and this made me curious because of course I got my Switch a little bit later than them, with like 2 or 3 days or something like that, and the first thing I did was to test out my Switch Pro controller, the Switch 2 Pro controller, and the mouse mode. And I can tell you the changing in between a Joy-Con and a mouse one is seamless. You can use it without this tiny thing mouse transformation Joy-Con strap. Yeah, you can also use it with this. It enhances the kind of like stability that it's configured by this. It glides smoothly on every surface, even your leg. Also, speaking of games, I might have got another game besides the Mario Kart World. It is Cyberpunk 2077, and it's the first third-party game that I got. And I also complained about Cyberpunk for being really console-oriented in my mind, in my head, and I couldn't play it on the PC. So now I'm having the chance on playing it, so stay tuned on the channel and subscribe for more if you would like to see that in the future, because I think from a week now I'm just going to post my review about it, so stay tuned about that. But now let's get back to the Switch features. And besides the classic look that we are having right here, the magnetic Joy-Cons that you can snap onto it and just not do anything about it, pure bliss. The sound, it's pure bliss. I just cannot say it anymore. The screen, of course, is an LCD, which a lot of people complained on the internet because they said, oh no, LCD with HDR and something, it's not really an upgrade and it's a downgrade from the OLED. This LCD with the HDR, if you're using your system compatibility mode with HDR with only compatible titles, for that you need to go to the tiny cogwheel, then settings, display, and then go to the HDR, and then you change the HDR setting into HDR compatible titles only, because like that you're not going to have the ugly jittery graphics from another games that they are not supposed to have HDR and they are not supported. And speaking of supported, do you know that right now when you're going into the eShop, you're seeing that you're actually game from the Switch 1, it says it's supported or not on the Switch 2, so it either has a free update, it either has a paid upgrade just like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. And also, speaking of games that they don't require an update, there are currently 15,000 third-party games on Nintendo Switch 2 that they are supported on Switch 2. Do you know how many times was I so annoyed by the long boot times or the long loading screens that I had on Animal Crossing? Well, now, bye-bye. They're just gone. Not anymore. So it's amazing. It's just in 3 seconds you're into the game. In Breath of the Wild, you just run smooth like butter. In Animal Crossing, Dreamlight Valley, in Cyberpunk, in anything, it's smooth like butter. And also, it's kind of weird that it has different boot times if it's on the microSD express card and if it's on the internal memory or if it's on the cartridge, but it's only a difference or 2 or 3 seconds, so you will be fine with that. You will survive the wait. The data transfer, it just flew by. I was literally going to read some chapters of my book, and like in the middle of the chapter that was, I guess, 15 minutes or 20 minutes, the data transfer was done and I had everything. And also, if you think like you're going to lose your Animal Crossing island and you're going to go with the island mover tool or the island tool, something like that it's called, you're not going to need it at all, because guess what? It moves automatically for you with the data transfer. And I was like, okay, because that's weird, because I'm having the Animal Crossing on the cartridge, right? Also, that reminds me that I'm playing Animal Crossing without my cartridge on. I'm having Animal Crossing on my cartridge. I've been data transferring it, and now I can play Animal Crossing without a cartridge on. Oh my god, that's a fun loophole. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Switch 2 gaming videos, cozy gaming videos, and also bookish videos that are going to come soon every now and then, combined with the gaming videos, so stay tuned for that too. The stop charging around 90% feature, it's amazing. It conserves your battery, it just leaves your battery just like it was from day one. It prevents deterioration of it. I just love it. Why didn't it have on Switch 1? Oh yeah, because it was old. And also, speaking of battery, you're supposed to get like on the demanding games like Cyberpunk 2077 and Mario Kart World a minimum of 2 hours, especially if you're playing it online or something with your internet on and connected to the Wi-Fi. And also, you're supposed to get up to 6 hours on the other games like Animal Crossing, just single player without the internet on, Dreamlight Valley maybe, Stardew Valley, I don't know, Rogue Heroes, I don't know what other games are there, and you're playing on your Switch, so you're going to have tons of fun with that. Fun fact, and I know it's not really a fun fact because of the price tag, but I'm still going to say it like a fun fact, or at least a fact, I guess. The Breath of the Wild cartridge and the Tears of the Kingdom cartridge, the versions for Switch 2, they're not only versions for Switch 2, it has been leaked and confirmed over Twitter. I don't know, some Twitter post and some leakers for Nintendo showed us the trailers and everything. They just said that we are going to have both the Switch 1 version and the second version on the Nintendo Switch 2 cartridge. So I guess, why is it called the Switch 2 version if it's having the both versions on it? Oh, okay, it's the 2 versions on it, and this is why it's the 2 edition, right? That's silly. Also, we're having cartridges like normal cartridges, the Switch 2 only cartridges, the normal cartridges being the Switch 1 cartridges that you can play on your Switch 2 also, the Switch 2 cartridges only, and the Game Key card, which I'm not really a big fan of. Basically, you're inserting your cartridge, you're downloading all your data, but then you can also play offline without your internet. So I'm like, the data is not on there, it gets stored in your internal storage or micro SD express and not being stored on the cartridge. You're not owning the games anymore on them. And I also having a video about this if you want to deep dive into it, and just let me explain how it works right now because it's a huge discussion about it. But other than that, the key card that you're having, it's going to have a tiny key on the cartridge, and you're going to be able to also locate it in case you're not seeing the key on the cartridge because it's rubbed off. If you're buying it secondhand, you can know that the LP, the first 2 letters on the cartridge, are for Game Key cards. The LB works on Switch 2 only, and the LN works on Switch 2 and also Switch 1. Apparently, it's been confirmed that this tiny USB-C port, besides you can charge your Switch of course while in the tabletop mode, you can also connect your own gaming mouse. I haven't particularly tried this right now because I'm having like a huge receiver in USB-A receiver, so I needed to kind of convert it, and it's a huge mess, but I was literally intrigued when I saw this. But hey, the Joy-Cons work perfectly for me. I don't find them fiddly or uncomfortable, so I guess I'm just going to go with that for now. And also another fun fact, which is more like of an exciting fun fact, we are going to have a leaked and reportedly a situation in which they're going to bring Red Dead Redemption 2 on Switch 2, which I'm truly excited because finally I can play the single player mode because I'm only having the Red Dead Online on my PC, so I'm really excited for that too. Have I talked about eShop? The eShop is just genius. It recommends you weekly different stuff in the For You page or the For You tab of the shop. It moves super fast and smooth, it doesn't freeze. I know some of the creators over YouTube have been problems with like freezing or something, but I haven't experienced any of them. I guess they weren't lucky. I guess it was some something, I don't know, the first boot or something of the console. I don't know what was it, but I haven't had an issue over the weekend, and since I'm having it for 2 weeks right now almost, or something like that, and I haven't had a single problem with it. It's just amazing. The wish list, the on sale tab in your wish list. But overall, I'm having such a fun experience with the Switch 2. I'm really loving it. I don't mind the LCD HDR. Also, I'm having problems with the OLED because there is no blue filter, and unfortunately there's no blue filter also on the Switch 2. Probably with the future updates, the battery drain is going to be also better. They're going to implement a blue filter or something because every console right now has. And I'm having sensitive eyes because also they are blue. So yeah, I'm more of like gray. But anyways, actually on the OLED version, my eyes were getting super fatigued and super tired throughout the day after playing, I don't know, for 2 hours, 3 hours in a row. And right now with the LCD, I find it that it's a perfect match for my eyes. Overall, I just love the console, and I hope you're going to love it too if you got it, if you plan on getting it. If not, I hope I convinced you to get it. And see you in the next Thursday video with something on Switch 2, like gaming video or some bookish video. And until then, happy reading and happy playing. Bye bye.